Yeah, way back in the day when we started Realm Reborn, we had to, in order to get on Ultros, we had to time it because it was like a congested world, so it only would open for certain hour blocks. So we like made the characters before we started playing to make sure we could stream it.
Yeah.
Hey, YouTube, I recorded this with Pax and Matt, just like with the twinning, and the audio died for some stupid reason, so... Oops, tank stance. So we're trying again. I'll do my best.
Man, that main story quest was amazing. I can't believe how great it was. What's gonna be in this dungeon?
What's happening?
I will try to replicate my complaint about the bomb reskin later on. I remember that.
I remember the bomb reskin. I remember me pulling the final boss and the batteries of my controller dying immediately.
Oh yeah, let's do that again.
Yeah. With randos, too.
Yeah.
We really like the Shadowbringers bros, so... And this room reminded us of Bloodborne, remember that?
That's right, this looked like the lecture hall.
Where you farm for blood vials and shit. Was it just blood vials or souls too? I don't remember.
I think it's pretty good for souls as well. Yeah, see, the bombfish.
Bombfish?
What the fuck?
Hey, they're just getting value out of the model.
Nah.
What else is going too far with the bomb? Like,
well,
fish is pretty far.
Yeah, I was trying to think before, like, what are all the element of bombs you can...
Mm-hmm.
How do you make a wind bomb?
Right. A balloon?
That's what it would be. It'd be a...
Yeah, you make a balloon.
A Drifloon from Pokemon, right? Like
I thought there were a couple of Final Fantasy games that had, like, translation issues where bombs were translated as balloon.
That sounds familiar, yeah.
Back in the Super Nintendo era. Alright, so we got the lore of this place is that this is the Shadow Asian guys that are basically like gods because they have so much ether that they can will things into being through thought alone. And this is like a place where they were doing that, so I think they like have like a... This is like the aquarium section, and then there's going to be a couple other sections after this.
Which I didn't appreciate at the time, exactly doing the quests. Like, you know, canonically, right, we have removed M itself, but this still exists. So it's not like it's a... You know, his powers of creation, this is a thing that he made. It is a facsimile of what was real, but it does exist.
It wasn't like something that was dependent on his, right, continued existence. He wasn't constantly conjuring it like you, Yevon. He just made it. I wonder how they escalate from that. You have a villain that you basically need 8 Warriors of Light to beat. I don't know if they can play that card again.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think this game... that's something that's done well is it's not escalating constantly like WoW is, but...
They can't escalate it again. It will take, it turns out, 24 Warriors of Light. Then I don't know what they do.
Yeah. It's their last number.
Yeah. No, I mean, so where do you see the story going? Especially since they've said that they kind of know 5 expansions worth or whatever. So it makes sense. Okay, there's 13 or 14 of these guys. We're probably gonna encounter the rest.
That's a pretty obvious scaffolding that they have going for them. We know we have to go to the moon at some point. We have to resolve all the stuff with Garlemald, which I thought was going to be this expansion. I'm guessing that's going to be the Shadowbringers patch content is dealing with Xenos being back and the Emperor and all those guys. Hey, good morning, Anyder. We're gonna finish this dungeon and then we'll be done. Street Sharks
over here.
This is a cool fight. You've done this one a couple times too now?
No, just the one we did, so I don't remember anything.
Oh, interesting. That's Tank Buster, Puncture, yeah. I think it's a cleave too. So like he swims around and then he faces a direction and then he puts a circle AoE in front of it. It's like they're teaching us both of their attacks while they're above the water, right?
Right.
And Doliotis' dude deals that he does a giant like pizza cone.
Yeah. Oh god, here comes the pizza.
Bustin' makes me feel good.
Nice.
They're doing another cycle.
Did you see this news about Disney not pursuing their Magic the Gathering and Mega Man movie?
No, I didn't. I didn't know that there was one. Was it like a Fox thing?
I don't think anybody knew. This was how we heard the news, is that they're not making it. But it's a pullback based on how things, I don't know, didn't go. Marvel's the only thing that makes them money. All their live action things don't work. Or, well, they do, but I don't know. They're not Marvel level. But yeah, they were going to make a Mega Man movie and a Magic the Gathering movie, apparently.
Isn't there going to be a Magic the Gathering TV show on Netflix with like the Russo brothers or something?
That was the confusion. So I mean, that people are excited about because I believe that is not live action. That's anime cartoon.
Cool.
Whereas this was live action, possibly live action Mega Man. Can you imagine? Everyone was putting up the images from that old Mega Man box art, right? The first game.
Yeah. There was a really good Mega Man cartoon back in the 90s.
I remember that. Well, there were two. Now, I don't know if you remember. You remember the Game Boy? There was the Game Boy show.
Oh,
with
yeah, Captain N.
Mother Brain. Yeah. And Mega Man was in that.
Simon Belmont. None of them were anything like they were in the games.
But then you're right. They had an actual Mega Man show.
There's a Mega Man episode where Mega Man X came, like, from the future or something. I remember, like, as a kid freaking out, like, this is so cool. And there were two Sonic shows. One of them was good and one of them was bad.
I watched the shit out of the Sonic show. I think I might have gone through puberty during that Sonic show. Like, there was a time when I could have been a furry. Man, it just didn't hit me right. Didn't awaken anything in me.
Yeah. So I think they both had Jaleel White as Sonic Urkel, but One of them was dark and serious, the other one was goofy.
Yeah.
Do you remember which one you watched, or did you watch both of them?
I watched both of them. Yeah, I remember both of those. I remember the theme song from the dark and serious one, I think. But I remember reading that. It had the C-3PO Fox on that.
Yeah. I remember there were like the goofy, bumbling villains and the silly one. I forget what their names were, but there was like a robot chicken.
Oh man, yeah.
Drill guy.
See, I remember that had that post credits "Don't do drugs" scene every time. I remember those more than the actual
90s. I wonder if it's aged well. Some of those shows did age well, but like Ninja Turtles did not, for example.
Yeah. See, I don't want to go back and watch it. I would ruin it, right? Like, I watched the Super Mario Super Show when it was on Netflix, episode or two, and those are fine. They're not great, but they're fine. Mostly, you watch that for the theme song,
right? I think cartoons aging well is kind of a recent phenomenon, like 94 or something.
Yeah.
Batman the Animated Series is aged fine. Most of the comic book shows from the late 90s. Spider-Man was pretty good. The X-Men was pretty good and had a sweet theme song. Quite a few good Cartoon Network shows like Dexter and Powerpuff Girls.
I think it was when the animators and the show designers were the kids that grew up with cartoons. That's what they started being good.
Like we're seeing now with video games.
Yeah.
Devs are people that grew up with video games. Because you go back and you watch, so like it's interesting because you get Looney Tunes is solid and for the most part it's aged well, and then you get Hanna-Barbera, which is almost all trash, like the most cash grabbiest crap.
But poorly like animated and like the colors don't look good, like
lame cell animation where they keep reusing backgrounds and stuff.
That was why all the animals had neckties on, is because it was easier to keep the lower half and then just reanimate the face every time.
That's funny. Right, so this is the boss that I was super excited about them reskinning, because this is Cahulin from one of the Heavensward raids. And I think this is the second time they've reused the model, but like the texture is so different that I think they're very warranted in reusing something here. Interpreting it as a Malboro boss is very cool.
Well, because this is the phytobiology section or something. Like it's definitely we made a weird bio thing. So it's great to be here.
Oops, my bad. Can you assume that? Let me get a sec. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's like you can think of some RPGs doing palette swaps as being shameful, but I feel like it probably requires a significant amount of work to get these set up.
Yeah.
How is the puke attack conveyed, do you know?
I don't know.
I just happened to never get hit by it last time, so...
I was always worried about it last time, because I didn't catch the tell.
Here we got two casters, so I don't need to care about positionals. They've done a really good job of still having traditional ground telegraphed abilities, but adding more and more bosses that have animation telegraphs.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I did it again, sorry. I keep thinking he's done a step sooner. I think he pukes at the end of that, so you never want to be in front of him while he's doing that. I like that kills the flowers when he does it. Okay, so this lasts a while.
Yeah, there's. I don't know if it's the same number of smacks every time, but I guess if you rotate with the head, you'd be all right.
Yeah, just don't be in front of its mouth ever. Never be in front of its mouth, and just keep following its butt is probably fine.
Yeah.
Hey, they're all going to get puked down here in a second if they don't.
Does this game have cleaves ever?
Yeah, absolutely. Which I think it was the second boss in Twinning was doing a big cleave.
Okay. But they're
like run through the boss and pull it and face away from the party.
Is it a? It's always a telegraphed with an orange thing, or is that not?
Oh no, not necessarily. There's a they don't have like auto attack cleaves. I think I see what you mean. Like, there's a lot of bosses in WoW that just because they're facing you, they're going to be attacking in a cone in front of them with every auto attack, right?
That's what I'm getting at. Is it? Can I? My intuition is to not be on the same side as the tank, but there's plenty of times where I'd rather be closer to you. And I'm trying to see if I can stay with you and be safe as long as I still move out of stuff that you move out of.
Right. We could try it. I honestly don't think most bosses have an auto attack cleave, or at least they haven't for a while. But then no one's ever been standing next to me, so.
Yeah.
I assume all tank busters are cleaves.
That's a good point. I guess it could be, yeah.
And those usually aren't, they don't have a floor telegraph, just a cast bar. So if you gotta be moving at the same time those get cast, that might be bad news bears.
It's weird what sorts of behavior is just ingrained because of the history of playing playing MMO, and that's one of them is stay away from the tank.
Yeah,
just,
don't stand next to the tank.
Zone.
Exactly.
The other one for me is don't go inside buildings on your mount because you'll get dismounted when you go inside.
I was going nuts with that in WoW because I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah, it's super frustrating. I want to do it this way. This way's so much better. But I still I'll pop off my own mount on the way into a building sometimes, just so I have to delay. Yeah.
Oh, it's like being able to dismount by attacking in WoW. Like you get used to that, and it's hard to remember that you have to manually dismount before you can do it. No, I have video game muscle memory is a huge problem just as a streamer. If I'm switching games every day, they'll have different confirm buttons, different menu buttons. Like half of every Resident Evil session is remembering, okay, every Resident Evil game uses a different button for the menu. Which one is it this time? How many times am I going to open the map by mistake? I think I caught this during Reciteer, the capitalism RPG game, but like I think I've now played a game where the menu button is on every single button on a controller. We've done, I think, R3 and L3 in East Origin and one other game. For whatever reason, Reciteer had it on like L1 or something.
God.
Maybe I haven't had it on the A button, on the typical confirm button.
Yeah.
PlayStation X button, bottom button.
Ugh. What game had it on the bottom button? What? I'll never play it.
Well, I think that's the only one that I haven't seen yet. Is menu. Okay. Every other button has been covered. D-pad has brought up the menu.
Ugh.
That's something that I'm getting used to with RuneScape, is that because it's everything is clicking, you never have to use the mouse in any capacity. Other than if you want a shortcut to drop items, I think that's the only thing in the whole game. But anyway, like, you click everywhere, so I keep expecting it to work like Diablo, where you can, if there's a pixel, you can click on it and move to it, but the game is actually tile-based, even though it doesn't look like it's tile-based. So, like, thinking, oh, I can just click here and my character will path to it is usually not correct. So you kind of have to get good at the pathing to be able to be good at the game. Then I'll get really good at RuneScape pathing and go play the new Diablo season. And
yeah.
There's the last report. Foreshadow the final boss.
Oh, it's because they're talking about one of them figures out that they are making the beasts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if they talk about because this. I don't remember. Also, I want to mount for this thing you're fighting now. This Soma.
Yeah, that thing's really cool looking. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a corrupted version of the gods, that has like the black and the mask, but no, I think it's supposed to be like a water creature thing. I don't know. I kind of lose the theme in this last section. First one is an aquarium. Second one's like a greenhouse terrarium. Now I don't know what we're doing.
Oh, it's phantomology.
Oh, okay. That's
So
why they're all like
ghost
ghosts,
stuff.
Possessed armor. Oh man. You recreate your reaction to it being Quetzalcoatl, which you've been talking about this whole time since the real report.
Well, because we loaded in that zone, and I was like, oh fuck, we're gonna fight one of these guys. I love these guys.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't want to fight them. They're cool.
Yeah.
So I just, when we did this blind, when the counter hit 1, my controller died. It was as I was pressing Tomahawk. If I had hit Tomahawk, we probably would have not wiped, because I would have held aggro long enough to swap batteries, but I think you were precasting Broil, right?
I was just trying to optimize, man, and so I had a broil started on
That's
2
correct.
or whatever.
You should be.
I know, I was doing my job, and then, ugh.
Alright, final boss. Now we have to eat the balls.
Oh, right.
The damage up, but he doesn't get it. It's the first time it's maybe a mild enough buff on him that he's not going to destroy us.
Yeah.
It's interesting because the twinning almost uses the same graphical effect, and you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Get through the little thing, because we're not dragoons and can't just jump through it.
Oh.
I really like this boss theme.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of the Shadowbringers like normal battle theme in the open world, but the boss theme is sweet.
Yeah. Jenny was starting her first dungeon, and I sang the fight theme she was gonna have. She's like, "How do you know that?" I was like, "What are you talking about? How do I not know that?"
How do I not know it exactly? I'm super excited for Ginny to play. I'm glad that she's checking it out. If she needs, if she's gonna be on or something and wants to run it not with randos, let me know. I'll pop on if I'm online.
Yeah, she's digging it so far. I think she got to like 15 yesterday.
Right on. This game is perfect if she's got time to play it and is willing to solo to catch up. Like, it is the perfect game to play solo and catch up in, if that makes sense. It's just annoying to try to play as a group and progress at the same time.
Yeah,
but it's set up to make it really easy for you to queue into stuff. Like the main story quest is chill. Tank Buster.
Well, how long do you figure? Because you probably looked at the VODs. How long did it take us to beat the first before the expansion came out?
Hours or days?
Yeah, like hours. If you have a sense of it.
I think. Pretty sure Realm Reborn is about 100 hours. Think of each expansion as being about 100 hours. It's probably fair.
Okay.
Because we can think about Shadowbringers. Shadowbringers was probably the most like on formula, which I kind of liked. So it was easy to predict what to expect in between dungeons. So we've played Shadowbringers for 5 hours as of this dungeon, instance content only. And then between every dungeon unlock was about 4 to 5 hours of cutscenes. So if there were, I don't know, maybe 6 of those stretches, it'd probably be about 30 hours of questing. And this is the pre-patch content, so there's going to be more once it finishes. It's hard to tell from the old VODs we recorded because we also recorded like random duty roulettes, and she shouldn't have to do anything to level other than just do the MSQ and any dungeons she hits along the way.
Wow, this is a problem. She was like narrating. We were in Discord. She was narrating like what she was doing, and all of a sudden she's like, I don't remember any of those early quests. She was like, oh, I'm having to pick up some. She's in Ul'dah, picking up some gold for somebody, and now I gotta figure out like what people's favorite colors are for like the dress I'm gonna make them. And I was like, what are you talking about? That's not okay. She went into the Weavers Guild, of course.
Oh,
she didn't realize that there were different quests, like story and everything.
Because like in Final Fantasy and WoW, it's just do all the quests.
Just do all of them, right?
Just do the fireball quests. Literally, don't touch anything else. It's gonna be bad enough. Did you see? She's maybe starting to play a little bit early because they just announced they're going to pare down the MSQ.
Yeah, we talked to her about that. Because not only that, but I think Matt was saying that like a year from now they had plans to cut the. Well, there's stages of this cut apparently or something.
As with all their plans in this game.
Yeah, but I think she was digging it. He's always talking it up.
Yeah. Once she gets to Heavensward, it'll if she can survive that long, I think she'll enjoy it. If she's not already enjoying it.
I think she's digging it so far.
Cool. That was fun. I'm glad they finally got to get a Quetzalcoatl fight.
Yeah.
The only problem is that you're out of stuff to... You had Yojimbo and Quetzalcoatl. That was about
I know,
it.
man. Those were the things. I gotta think about what else I gotta pine for.
Something from 8 that we don't have. Tonberry King.
This is basically the 8 expansion in disguise. Is my new theory. Yeah, I was going to predict what the Eden fights were going to be, and I was going to say that it's like Eden or not. Well, yeah, it's Eden's in there. Probably you've got the sorceress, but not Ultimecia, the real sorceress. Cue the guy from the Matrix meme, and then the fourth one is Renault's dog. Pretty sure that's the last boss.
The biscuit cannon.
Yeah.
No, I think you're right because I think Stormblood was the 6th expansion with all the 6 enemies all throughout it. Even though it wasn't like exactly like 6 in a lot of ways, it had lots of little references with fighting the Empire. Magitech is a big thing. Bunch of common the bosses in that one dungeon were all 6 bosses. But yeah, this one has what is it like? You get Gunbreaker and you've got. The Squall outfit is released with it, and you're right, we've been doing a lot of cool 8 stuff, so maybe we'll see more in the patches.
The third boss is the alien, the little poo-poo aliens. That was that's what I forgot.
Yeah, I forgot about those guys. There's a card for them, wasn't there?
Yeah, and they're in the gold saucer here, like as one of the floaty things in the background. So they've been in the game this whole time.
It's gonna have to be the final boss. They planned it from the beginning. That was fun, man. Thanks. I'm gonna pop off for a bit, but I might be on later.